Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hello, YouTube world. Good evening to you all. Welcome back Tuesday. It is book club night. I hope you guys are ready to talk about blood. How is everybody? Alicia B's in house. Sharon creates. She's moving and she's still here. Girl, thank you so much for your dedication. I really appreciate it. Chucker Steve is in the house. Barbara Clark, good to see you. So glad you're here. We have people start coming in soon. They'll be getting the notification, yada yadas. How's everybody doing? I am going to be making something new, starting something new on the live. If you want to look this up, this is going to be knit, and it is called the Crazy Eights dishcloth or washcloth. Hi, Bree. Good to see you. Come on in. I will wait till a few more people get in here before we do too very much. And I want to show you guys. I'll show you what I got in the mail real quick while we're waiting. Here we go. This is what I'm going to be using. It's red, y'all. It's red. It's actually called burnt sienna. I got two things in the mail today. This first one is from Idaho Tailor Made. It's an Etsy shop. Wait till you guys see this. Wait till you see this. Hello, Deneen. Good to see you. Lorna, hello. That is the dishcloth Chelts likes. We can't get anything past you. Look at this. These are vegan leather, and they go on whatever you want to put it on. My intention was to put it on the edge of a hat, like that. Isn't that cool? Now, I only got one of these, but I'm kind of thinking I want to get them in different colors. Wouldn't it be fun to have these in all the rainbows? I'm going to have to find out what other colors she's got. Did you see it? You guys, this has got to be, one of these has got to be a giveaway. And it's teal. If it involves true crime, investigations, documentaries, or murder mysteries, count me in. Now, okay, but how cool is that? I mean, come on. Hi, Tony. How cool is that? I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull names from like people who have been here for the month of October is probably what's going to happen. I'm going to pull names from comments and things because I have a couple of those, girl. So that was one thing I got today. It's teal. You got the notification, Tony, but it didn't pop up. Well, I don't know why. That's weird. That's a weird. And here's the other thing. I posted this on my Instagram. Hello. Are you kidding? Okay, now. Looks great, right? This is the guy who knits the stuff in the book. So I will be talking about this one. Drill worthy. Yes. And here's some of that. I may never ever make some of this stuff. I mean, come on. But holy moly. Pretty sure this is his family. Is that his family? Hello, Beating Mama. Good to see you. I don't want to give a whole lot away. Oh, are you serious? It's not the centerfold, but it ought to be. I can't with that one. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's enough, you guys. Just a little tease there, right? What, Sharon? What did she say? I'll take the model. He's single? Okay, so that's just for the pictures. It was just for the pictures, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Now that there's a few of you here, I want to read. So I have this book that I got at the grocery store, at dollar store, I think. It's called Crack the Case, about puzzles with true crime capers and only you can solve. And I'm going to read this after we do our session, and then there's going to be questions to go with it. I think this will be fun. We'll do this here in a little while. Oh, you saw it on Instagram? Well, thank you. Hi, Kathy G. Hello to those who I might have missed. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, hello to you. If you are lurking, hello to you. I appreciate my lurkers as well. Very glad that you are all here tonight. And Tony, I have been listening to the case in Oklahoma. Actually, I was following it through Profiling Evil. I had seen the story come out, and then Mike on Profiling Evil covered it, and I said hello to you in there. You might not have heard me. And he was on again last night and told us that, they positively identified him. And I think that they should, my guess is that they really need to look in the smasher at the salvage yard for the bicycles. I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to be. They're going to be smashed in there. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it in the, if you know about that case, y'all put it in there. Let me know what you think happened. And afterwards, anybody wants to comment on that can, put it down below. Tonight's coffee is black, and it's in my yarn cup. And I don't think I got my lipstick on real good. Oh, that's the, but see there? Lip Sense is the lipstick. It doesn't leave a mark. We ain't gonna be having no lip stains around here. That's evidence. Okay, so they have arrested him now. Okay. As of last night, they were looking for him, but they had not actually made an arrest. They just said that he was a person of interest. So that's interesting. So I'll come back to you guys here on that. Okay. The book we are doing Murder Academy investigation team. And tonight we're just talking about the blood. I kind of gave you guys a light week because honestly, that this section, I mean, there's a lot to blood and blood stuff, but it was only a couple of pages. So anyway, that is what we're going to talk about. And there we go. There is the book. And, oh, I won't say it out loud because I don't know who might be watching, but I don't censor the things that I might show you. So here's my notebook with all my notes in it. This is a little bookmark that I made because Alicia B was making bookmarks, and I'm like, I need to make one of those. So I made one and then put a little tassel on it. Just goes down one side. It's come in very handy though. I've got a couple of them, and it's come in very, very handy. So my first question to you guys, while I get this going, my first question to you is, what can blood tell us? I'm using I Love This Cotton in burnt sienna. You guys probably can't see that. It says burnt sienna. And I'm full of it tonight. Just so you know, I'm going to cast on 16 stitches for this. Oh, the bookmarks have been a lot of fun. I'm thinking about making up some more for when I go down to the farmer's market. I think that would be good for farmer's market. Sorry, Serbs. It has cooled off here also, you guys. It has cooled off. I'm going to do long tail cast on also. So while DNA, this is from Stephen's book, he says, while DNA will tell us who, the blood staining will tell us how. So how what, guys? How something happened, how somebody got hurt, where the injury came from. Sharon says the time a crime was committed. Hello, how are you doing, Katie? Good to see you. So it tells us how. So that's more of a generalization, but yeah, you guys are on it. You're on it. So blood pattern analysis is BPA. It's what they call BPA. Hang on. I can't do this and count. There are three types of staining, you guys. Anybody know the three types of staining? I know, it's like a quiz. It's like school. One more. 16. Okay. So I cast, y'all didn't see it, but I cast on 16. I don't know why you can't see me. I got to change this camera real quick. Hang on. Oh, and tonight's coaster, don't hurry, be happy. That's tonight's coaster. Direct transfer and she probably had it in there, didn't quite get it out. Close. That's good. That's part of it, Tony. Y'all are reading from the book, which is fine. So passive, transferred, and projected. And then there's different, each one, there's different characteristic, different examples of it. So different examples of, y'all got that, drops. So the drops, I thought this was interesting to me. Oh, she doesn't have the book. She knows this stuff. She was in this. Okay, first row is knit. So I cast on 16. Now I knit. I don't think this thing is going to work. Drops are passive. They are like if you get a nosebleed, or say somebody was injured and they were, walking along and blood drips onto the ground. Someone actually could tell if somebody's being carried, or if they're walking. There's a lot of things, and it can show movement. Drops can show movement. Well, that's some good guesses, Tony. She says she's guessing. She doesn't have the book either. So a pool of blood is like, we know that one. Somebody's dead and there's a pool of blood on the ground. We know what a pool of blood is. Oh my gosh, drip through the ceiling. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. I think Alicia has listed all of them. The drops are passive. The pool is passive. And the way I was thinking of that, and I don't know if I'm right on this or not, but like the drops and the pool being passive, the way I was looking at it was they're just coming out freely. They're passive. There's no force there. They're just dripping out. It's just coming out. Contact stain, that's transferred. And you guys, he had an example in here about transferring, like, if you touch something, if you like, you guys are going to be in this situation, right? If the perp, as they say, touches something with blood on his hands and touches something else, that's transferred. Or if an object, like let's say my cup, were to touch something and then it got touched somewhere else, that's now transferred also. So those are transferred, and it's between objects. The cast off is projected, and they're, we hear about cast off all the time with like ceilings and walls. I was trying to think about famous cases where there's cast off, you guys, and I was having a hard time with that, with the cast off. But I have a link I'm going to share with you here in a minute, and it's down below, and it'll tell you some famous cases where they used blood spatter analysis. So we'll get to that in a minute too. Now, contact stain, I can think of a case because I was watching, I don't know how many of you have watched the Stephen Avery The Stephen Avery case was the one where the girl came to his trailer and to take a picture of a car, photograph a car, and he and his nephew were convicted of killing her. And they did his second lawyer was trying to prove him innocent, and she, oh gosh, she's a famous lawyer, and she did an experiment where they were trying to reproduce how the girl's body would have been in the trunk of the car. Hi, Mary, come on in. And her hair would have touched the sides of everything, and they experimented and they made it work exactly the same way where her hair would touch. Okay. And another one is, if you can remember, Michael Peterson, where his wife supposedly fell down the stairs and all of the stuff from her hair touched the wall, you know. Well, they learned a lot from that hallway, with the blood that was in that hallway and how all of the splatter and spatter and contact and everything else was all over that. And yeah, there's no way. There's no way that what he says happened. So, yeah. So there's a couple. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you again. Been a while. Or I think it has. I don't remember seeing your name for a while. I'm glad you're here. Okay. On this washcloth, I knit 15 and turn and knit back. Okay. And then when I come back again, I'm going to be coming back towards my tail. Chelsea taught me this I taught her how to knit. She taught me how to make a washcloth. And you're going to be going back when you're doing your short rows are going to go back to your tail. I know, it's spatter, not splatter. So I'm going to turn. And when you turn, you take the yarn and put it to the back. Go between the needles and to the back. Y'all can't see that, but let me show you again. So when you turn this, keep letting go. When you turn, this yarn is going to be right here on the front. And you want to put it through the needles and to the back. And then you're going to knit back down there again. Okay. Impact spatter. There is no really non-gruesome way to say this, but it's when someone is hit hard enough and continues to be hit, the impact of the spatter can tell them how much force was used. So that's a thing. How much force was used. And then arterial spurt, that is just what it sounds like. It's coming straight out of the artery. It's spurting out of the artery. And what I didn't realize is that usually makes a zigzag pattern when you see it. So, yes, thank you, Lorna. I was speaking of the making of a murderer is exactly what I was speaking of. Thank you for putting that in there. Okay, so my next row, when I come back, going back to the short row, I did 15 before. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to do 14. And then I'm going to turn. Then I'm going to do 13. I'm going to do all the way down until I get to 8. And so that's why this is called Crazy 8. And the pattern for this is all over the internet. You can find it everywhere. There's a tutorial. There's bunches and bunches of tutorials too. Okay, so I want to read y'all something. Yeah, it comes out with the heart and that makes it zigzag. I just thought that was very interesting. Okay, got to take this off. I'm hot. But there's a very good explanation that I found. Some cases are solved by blood spatter analysis and have incriminated the wrong person or aided in guilty criminals going free. There's no denying that this relatively new form of criminal forensics only first used in a case in the 50s and more formally organized in the 70s. So one of the and this is an example in the book too, but this is the one with Lindy Chamberlain and the dingo that ate her baby. So I remember that movie. Do you guys remember that movie? Because that was really something. And this on that one, that was, thank you, Lorna, for putting my words in for me. I appreciate that. In that one, it was in 1986 and it was in Australia. And she said that the dingo got her baby. It was a Meryl Streep movie. And she was in prison for 3 years before a new piece of evidence, which was the baby's jacket, was found to exonerate her. So the evidence wasn't actually blood, it was spilled juice. And it was a strange case. Hey, Chels. And then this one, I don't know how many of you have heard of this case. We should talk about this case, but it's Brittany Norwood. Now, she is a woman who constructed an elaborate cover-up moments before she brutally murdered one of her co-workers. Alicia B., you might know this one. It happened near you. This happened at Bethesda, Maryland at a yoga store. This included her tying herself up in an attempt to make it look like someone else was the killer. After she was caught, she agreed to plead guilty, but her defense attorney claimed she committed the crime in a fit of rage. The prosecution was tasked with proving the murder was premeditated. One of the key pieces of evidence in the trial was provided by an expert in blood spatter analysis who testified the murderer beat her victim as she lay unconscious on the ground. Blood was found on the underside of a nearby bookshelf. And that couldn't have gotten there from anywhere else than by that position on the floor. Okay, well, let me show you. It's Brittany Norwood. So, yoga store co-worker. So I have a link to these down below if you guys want to go check some of those cases out. I wanted to put that in there for you. But here is so because blood behaves according to certain scientific principles, I wanted to cover this, okay, because we've just kind of skirted around it when we haven't really said it. But that is that trained blood stain pattern analysis can examine the blood evidence left behind and draw conclusions as to how the blood may have been shed. From what may appear to be a random distribution of blood stains at a crime scene, analysis can categorize the stains by gathering information from spatter patterns, transfers, voids, and other marks that assist investigators in recreating the sequence of events. So some of the things that they do use these things, BPA, principles of biology. So what does the blood do? Like, what does it do once it's in the air? So, because once blood oxygenates, it does certain things. Physics. So you've got cohesion, capillary action, coming out of the artery, velocity. And then mathematics, which is like geometry, distance, and angle. And they use every bit of that when they investigate. So wanted to be sure and cover the fact that there's a lot of math and everything else that goes into blood spatter analysis. One case that I was looking at was talking about how a man was being not framed, he was being tried for having killed his son. And there were a lot of very, very tiny blood dots. And what it came down to was not that he had killed him. He had coughed. He had some sort of a lung problem where he coughed and the blood came out in these very tiny droplets. I know that. I know. Not only do they know where the void is, they can tell the size of that void and if it matches the suspects. Isn't that's interesting to me too? It is. Hello, Sandy. Yeah, coughing and sneezing. That's exactly what happened in teeny tiny little droplets. I thought that was interesting. But, the Michael Peterson case, and it's called The Stairway, that one right there, I mean, come on. They had Henry Lee on that one. He came and studied the blood spatter. Okay, I went to 14 this time. Now I'm going to turn. So, I know that I said, okay, we're just doing blood tonight. Oh my gosh. I mean, I thought it was going to be enough just to talk about blood by itself. But after I got to thinking about it, I thought, it's pretty straightforward. I just would wish that I had some cases to tell you that were like, they really came up and were a thing in like a case for each kind, like a droplet or a case for projectile and all of that stuff. But a lot of these cases have a lot of the different things in them. Like it's not just one type. A lot of them have several different ones. Hello, Donna. Good to see you tonight. Hello to you all. So glad you are here, everyone. Thank you so much. This is called the Crazy Eights washcloth or dishcloth, and it employs short rows. So it's not a wrap and turn, but it's just a turn. So you go across and you turn, and then you go across and you turn. And each time you shorten it down to 8 stitches. You start with 16, you go to 15, you turn, then you go to 14, turn, then 13, all the way down to 8. Chelsea showed me how to do this, and I did not successfully get through a washcloth. So I want to successfully get through one. And I thought making it red would be fun. Henry Lee, great gentleman. He in Connecticut. Yeah, he's good. But they hired him, if I'm not mistaken, they hired Henry Lee for uh the Michael Peterson case, but he didn't get him off. Huh. Okay. Oh, you found some good stuff. Alicia found some pictures. Oh, that's cool. So this is blood drops. Well, that's interesting. So see, we've got all you here's a solid blood drop, and there's actually some like splat around that one too. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Can y'all see that? I don't want there we go. Right there, maybe. That's interesting. So that's different angles. So that's the angle of impact it says at the top. Interesting. Yeah, he was in the OJ trial too. He has a good track record, but he's not always been on the winning side. Let's just put it that way, right? This one shows trajectory, straight line trajectory. If you all see that. There we go. So let's say your actual point is here and it's going out. Wow, that's actually very much mathematical. I'm looking at it thinking, what is that called where you put it? Can't remember the name of that thing where you put it down and you turn and you can make a circle with it. Oh, I forget what you call that thing. The wood chipper, in Connecticut, right? The protractor. Thank you. That reminds me of that. A different shapes on the blood as it hits too. Okay, so you've got the elliptical blood spatter, and you've got so you see what I'm saying? Like that makes a difference too. That's interesting. Okay, what's this other one? Oh gosh, math. You can determine the angle of impact using the width and the length of the blood droplet. Do not include the tail in the length measurement. I've heard this. I've heard them talk about this because I watch trials. So there's your mathematical equation. Interesting. Thanks, Alicia. Yeah, I mean, he has done a lot of cases, Dr. Lee, a lot of them. I have a book in my Kindle by Cyril Wecht. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had checked that out from the library, and I want to go in and see what he says about some of that stuff too, because he's talked about some pretty famous cases in his book. Have y'all heard of Dr. Cyril Wecht? Yeah, I can do that. I could put him in the community tab. Yeah, Cyril Wecht was a first generation, or let's just say he was before Dr. Lee, I think, before he became famous, right? Geez, OJ put everything on the map, I would say. Okay, it was 14 before, so I'm doing 13 now, right? Starts with a B. Anybody know who that is? Tony, I would suggest you go over and watch Unsolved No More with Ken Maines. He did the Sam Shepard. He did something that was okay. Was it Sam Shepard or based on Sam Shepard? I believe it was the Sam Shepard case. It was good. Yeah. Yeah, he laid it out there, and I really liked his version of what happened, his analysis. I know, and then they did it on Bones. Y'all remember they did that episode? They did a pig in the wood chipper on Bones. That was an episode. There it is, Dr. Bodden. Yes. He's good too. Oh my gosh, there's really a lot of very good ones. Yeah, Dr. Bodden. That's it. So, also, you guys, I wanted to say, when it comes to, and we're going to be talking about that, but the case that's out right now that we're talking about on Friday, which is the Piketon massacre, there is footprint analysis going on, and they've got footprints in blood. So that's going to be coming up in this case, and we'll be talking about footprints next. We're going to before anybody goes, because I know that a lot of people tend to duck out when it gets closer to the hour, that we're going to finish with fibers and footprints, and I think that's it, isn't it? Fibers and foot marks. Oh, and then, okay, we're going to do fibers and foot marks next. And then we'll do firearms. If we get time, we'll do firearms on the next one, but I'm not sure we'll get time. Oh, the Piketon. Well, this Friday I'm going to read for you. I took some notes, and I have the testimony of really what happened. So that's what we're going to talk about Friday, and I'm going to be at my daughter Carrie's. Okay, I want to give away some bookmarks because I keep forgetting to do this. So I will, if you just give me a general, like, color, something like that, and kind of tell me, then I will pick a couple of these to send to you. Chelsea and my grandsons made these, you guys, just for the book club. So I want to give away a bookmark, and then I will probably send you a sticker and stuff too. So I'm going to mark the chat, and you guys can put in your favorite case that you've ever watched, true crime. Just put in your favorite case. How about that? Okay, go. Go ahead. Your favorite case that you've ever watched. Can you put that in the chat for me? Yeah, Chelsea and the boys made these, you guys, just for book club. OJ, son of Sam. Oh, wow, Durst. Mark Peterson. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Christy. Chicotella. 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 What is that one? I'm not sure I know what that one is. I'll have to look that one up. I heard that was very interesting. I have not seen that trial. Hello, Tammy. Good to see you. That's okay. That's okay. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to say my favorite, but I'm sorry. Um, I do have I want to say that probably the one that really drew me in from the very, very beginning, I would have to say was OJ, because that's really where, to me, where it all started, right? So that really started. I've been watching a little bit of the Dahmer stuff, you guys. I just can't with him. I just can't with him. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I know. It does it sounds wrong, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna stop right there with Alicia B. And let's see how many we had. Only one of each. There we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 10? I think. Did y'all get 10? Oh. I forget how to do her. How do you do Surrey, you guys? Forget where she's at. 11? Okay. I used to do this when I had a button. I don't have a button anymore and I forget how to do it. Okay, Alicia, I'm going to leave it to you. You pick a number between 1 and 11. Either you or Steve. Okay, Nico. Yeah, he's going to share his buttons. Let Nico pick. He only has 6 buttons. You count 10 too, Chelsea? Okay. Well, pick a number. Okay, Alicia got 7. Okay, 7. Who number 7? It's the Chica. Tony, it's you. Chica. Okay, what color? Did you say red? I think you said red too, didn't you? Congratulations. If you said red, then I'm going to pick red for you. And some okay, she said anything. Okay, that works too. Yay. Chelsea, did you see what I got? You may not have seen it. There's something here I cannot show you. You know what that means. I'm not giving. You're welcome. Just send me an email and make sure that I have your address. I used to have it way back when, but I don't know if I still do. I'll give one of these away next time or for October. If it involves true crime, investigations, documentaries, or murder mysteries, count me in. Oh my gosh. You know what, Lorna? You are exactly right, girl. You are exactly right. So, OJ Menendez, right? In that order? Yep. Same path. I'm on that same path with you. It would be great on a hat. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And I got a hat coming that I'm going to put it on. What do y'all see that? Okay, I want to read. I'm going to read this deal I was talking about because it looks interesting, and then we'll answer the questions, okay? Okay. A great train robbery. The westbound Union Pacific Overland Flyer 1, due shortly in the small town of Wilcox, has been delayed outside of town. The state in which Wilcox is located, the 44th to join the Union, has only been represented on the U.S. flag by a star for 9 years and is very much still a part of the untamed mythical West. Soon a telegram arrives in Wilcox from the Flyer's engineer, W.R. Jones, reading, "Express car blown open. Mail car damaged. Safe blown open. Contents gone." Before long, bounties for the robbers are offered by Union Pacific. The Safe Company and the U.S. government. U.S. Pacific also sends a special investigative team of enough men, horses, and equipment to comb the state for weeks. The country's oldest and most notorious private detective agency, known for brutal strike-breaking and manhunting tactics, eventually spearheads the search. A local militia is even raised to find the men who will soon become known as the perpetrators of the most famous train robbery in U.S. history. On June 2nd, 1899, as the Overland Flyer makes its way through the open plains, it is flagged down at milepost 609. Believing they are being warned of a bridge out of service up ahead, Jones brings the train to a halt. Two men board the train and order Jones and his firemen to bring the train forward over the bridge. As they cross, dynamite is ignited, and the fuse runs out just as they complete the crossing, leaving the bridge in ruins and preventing a second locomotive not far behind from crossing. Over the next 2 hours, the bandits clean out the train, making out with the loot, including $50,000 in gold being transported to the west. After they leave, Jones is left to bring the train into Medicine Bow, the nearest stop, at a crawl. Based on descriptions gathered from eyewitnesses, known thieves Flat-Nosed George Curry, Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, Harry A. Longbow, alias the Sundance Kid, and Ben Kirkpatrick, alias the Tall Texan, were involved. Together, they are known by a moniker that will appear on movie theater marquees in 1969, alongside the names William Holden, Robert Ryan, and Ernest Borgnine. But soon, another name begins to appear in investigative circles. Recently pardoned by the governor, one of the West's most notorious outlaws is apparently the writer behind an unidentified set of horse tracks found at the scene. Furthermore, thanks to the robber's decision to take a package of more than 3,000 in banknotes, a paper trail later proves the outlaw, who was also the subject of a beloved Hollywood picture in 1969, did indeed receive payment from the stolen money. Before long, the banknotes are all over the West, indicating the gang has split up their bounty and parted ways. Ah. Uh-huh. Yep. We're getting some names and stuff there, I see. I see some names in the chat. In which state did the Wilcox chain robbery take place? Washington, Illinois, Texas, or Wyoming? That's question number 1. Which state did the Wilcox train robbery take place? Anybody? Steve says Wyoming. No clue. Tony says Wyoming. Okay, the options are Washington, Illinois, Texas, and Wyoming. Got to find the answer key. Well, they did it differently. They didn't number them. That's weird. Okay, found it. Good grief. And the answer is Wyoming. Okay, number 2. What is the name of the detective agency that sought the perpetrators? Anybody know that one? We've got the Metropolitans, the Pinkertons, the Texas Rangers, the Posse. Metropolitans, Pinkertons, Texas Rangers, or the Posse. Yep, it's Pinkertons. What is the name of the notorious outlaw who may have had a part in planning the robbery? Did y'all guess his name there at the end? The guy who got away with some money? Notorious outlaw who may have had a part in planning it. Y'all got to know this one. So I'm going to give you the, I was letting y'all kind of guess a little bit. So Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, Babyface Nelson, or Butch Cassidy. So there you go. Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, Babyface Nelson, or Butch Cassidy. Isn't this also a Clint Eastwood movie? I know, I would guess Butch Cassidy, but it's not. It's Babyface Nelson. In the 1969 film based on that outlaw, who plays Harry A. Longbow? Robert Redford, Clint Eastwood, Paul Newman, or James Coburn? Who plays Harry A. Longbow? Robert Redford, Clint Eastwood, Paul Newman, or James Coburn? I know. I know. I was thinking Butch Cassidy too. I was. Y'all, I was all thinking Butch Cassidy, but it's not. I had to look. He was in a lot of them. Y'all are right this time. You're right this time. Now, I think Paul Newman was in the movie, but he was not that. He was what was it? He was in a version of it, right? That is it, you guys. That's what I got for you. I got to get to another. I'm going to keep knitting for a minute because I got to get to the 8 and show you what to do with the rest of it, okay? Babyface Nelson was Prohibition era. Maybe. It may be. That was fun. There's a lot of cases that are like that, that if you hear a little bit of it, you're like, oh, I know this one, right? Can you all think of some of those cases? What case can you think of this? Somebody said, you remember the one about, and they don't give you any names. They don't do any of that. They just tell you a little bit about it, and you would know that case. What case would that be? It was fun. I'll have to see if I can find some more of those. A lot of the stuff in this book is like crosswords and stuff like that. I might even be able to redo a crossword, make crosswords for it. I know, trivia, crime story trivia. I love it. I think it should be a section when I do this now. We all think. I think it'd be fun. Can you guys see how that's making it into a wedge? And I got this far in with it when I did it last time. Now see, I'm going over to here, and this is the short rows. Crime story trivia. Okay, one more, I think. I have to see if I can't find, maybe Alicia B can help me at that because she's good at finding stuff. If anybody else has got any places where you think I might could make a crossword, and send me a link in my email. That way I can, because I need to look that up, see about making a crossword. Okay, here we go. 7 and 8. Okay, so that's 8. Now I'm going to turn and I'm going to knit back. The black dahlia. That, you know what? I even had Z from Zelda NRJ3, our own Z, the Yarny Z. She's Yarn is life. She even messaged me and said, "Have you heard about the black dahlia?" And that was in California, correct? I don't really know a whole lot about that one. I don't know if if they have actually even solved the black dahlia one. Okay, so I knit back after knitting the 8. Now I'm going to knit back towards this short row tail, but I'm going to knit all the way across. Okay. My idea, Annie, actually would be to talk to the family about it. Don't think they really know how they saw how I don't think they did either. There's actually another I noticed it the other day. There's another a podcast out for that actual the Black Dahlia. There's probably more than one. I have not even looked at it. So now I'm going to knit back. Okay, so I knit over, and you see it leaves kind of like a little bit of a like a little well here of stitches. We're going to knit back again. So a policeman thought that his father was the one that killed the Black Dahlia, and he was a doctor. Interesting. John Bonet. Yeah, that's a case that if somebody said, well, you might think Madeline McCann these days though, but if somebody said, that little girl that was killed, everybody would say John Bonet, wouldn't they? And then with OJ, you would say, what's the name of that guy? He was with the glove, and he was golfing. He said he was golfing, and he actually, I would anybody even say that? It's just OJ thing. Oh my gosh. Speaking of OJ, did you guys watch the podcast on OJ? Has anybody watched not the podcast, the special? Okay, Chelsea, I did it. I made it all the way back over. Okay, now that's our first wedge, okay? But we're gonna knit back over to this tail, and we're gonna do it again. Okay? So we're gonna knit back over. We're just gonna start it again. And what it'll do is it'll make wedges all the way around, and then you'll just put them together. Yeah, it's the 2 rows. Now, I just very crudely, don't you love my notepad? Someone called about something. I love this notepad. It's almost gone too. I don't want to lose it because I just love it. I may have to save one. Cast on 16, knit and turn, knit 15, turn, knit 14, turn, knit, etc., all the way to the 8. When you get to the 8, you turn, you knit, knit, and then start again. And don't forget that when you turn, you put your yarn backwards to the back. And that's it. You can always watch this back to see what I did. So this was fun. Was a good night for yeah, the OJ. It was actually not a podcast. I'm saying podcast, but it was actually like kind of like The Making of a Murderer. It was a docu series and they played parts from the trial. Oh my gosh. And then there was a like made for TV movie of it too. Yes, and it's 8 wedges and it's called The Crazy Eights. Okay, you guys, this was fun. Thank you so very much. Tony, don't forget to send me an email. We'll give another one away next week too. And I will see you guys on Thursday and we'll talk some more about plant-based and food and nutrition and all that good stuff. And if any of you have any questions, I meant to say this earlier. If any of you have any questions about what I'm eating, or if you're interested in it at all, and I haven't already talked to you, send me an email, okay? And that way that we can get connected about that. So send me an email, and that is fiberflooziecrafts@gmail.com. Gosh, I don't even think I spelled that right. There. Oh, it did. I did spell it right. Well, we'll do it twice. I don't think it will, though. Oh, it did. It did do it twice. I thought I had a timeout for that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all very, very much. But yeah, email me and I have I can we can talk. We can talk now. We got things going. We can talk. So just send me an email. Okay. Love y'all. Have a great night. Have fun today and eat more plants.